Yes, people, welcome to the Q&A. We're doing it on a special Sunday. We've been trying to get this for a while now, innit? Trying to get some footage together, but now is like the meet up and let's get cracking, people. So, tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do, man?
Okay, so my name is Henry Adenusi, 23 years old. Been lifting for about 4 years now, I'd say. Currently living in Rome, studying a PhD at the moment in chemistry. Just come back to London for the summer, for about 3 weeks, then heading back to finish off my first year.
Not bad, mate. Name's Vin. 20, almost 23, but yeah, 22. Currently a chef. I used to study nutrition and dietetics at uni, but I'm done with that now. I'm trying to make some pee, get travelling, and yeah, make some life gains. So yeah, about lifting, there's a lot to talk about, I know. Where do we start? I'd say we just go from the start, like, when did you start lifting?
For me, lifting probably started at early 2014, so first year of university. Started probably around 68 kilos, about 6 foot, which is not ideal, being that high and that skinny.
I'd say like even before lifting, like what was you doing like at school and stuff? Was you like
at school probably
sports and stuff?
Mainly football, a bit of tennis, football and athletics probably the main two.
Yeah, you did a bit of athletics, didn't it?
Athletics, I ran 400 meters.
But how often were you like going, like a week?
A lot, because I used to run for like districts as well.
Yeah.
So for like primary school, did athletics at district level. It's like for the borough. So did that mainly 100 meters and relay. And then in secondary school did it as well. Mainly 400 meters and relay as well.
Yeah, so you sort of had like a athletic background to begin with.
Yeah.
But would you say that's something you wanted to do, or like what your parents pushed you, or?
No, athletics was probably like naturally. It's always something that I was good at, even from like a young age. Like I always found it really easy. Like naturally I had like a decent amount of speed. So that's always like what I gravitated to, like early on.
For me, it was more like I had 2 older brothers, so I would like compete with them with like everything when it comes to like football, even like jogging around like where we lived, like who could run the fastest and that. But like that was what my athletic background would have been, like playing like football and stuff, or general sports like tennis or whatever. But in terms of when I was at school, I don't think I did much. It was more football and yeah, whatever. I didn't do anything outside. Yeah, so you started lifting what, first year of uni?
Yeah, probably like January 2014, around then.
Yeah.
So yeah, first year of uni, trained with 2 other friends, basically on a 1 day, like 1 body part per session split. It's like a proper bro split. Have like a chest day, shoulder day, leg day, back day, arm day. So 5 days a week.
I remember I used to be in sixth form and I used to follow fucking, what was his name? Mike Chang. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah.
I don't know where he is now, because like maybe everyone thinks
He vanished off YouTube, innit?
Everyone thinks he's like a fake now and he doesn't have status anymore, but that's got nothing to do with me. But anyways, I used to do what he called the ninja workout, where like I think from the age of like 14 or something, I had like a set of dumbbells that I stole from school. Do you remember that? Like one day, like I put like a dumbbell in my bag and I left it by the door, and everyone like kicked it and was like, "Why is it so heavy?" I think I nicked a dumbbell from school. I think 2 sets or maybe 1. But I used to do like bicep curls for like sets of like 50 and then build up to 100. And my diet used to be like all you can eat plus like Lucozades and shit. And like yeah, I remember doing like loads of press ups and I thought, right, and this needs to get advanced now, because like I'm not at the gym, but how do I like progress in this? So I saw like the ninja workout, which was basically never do this like ever. Put weights in your backpack and do press ups. That'll give you back pain for life. It is eternal back pain now, and it's a recipe for disaster, because your spine isn't meant to be compressed like that. It's crazy. I remember before I got to uni, yeah, I built up like some mass or whatever, just doing press ups. And like I remember like being on a fucking perma bulk or massive bulk, like eating loads, and I used to be really heavy before I got to uni. And when I got to uni, I remember trialling for like football and realising that I wasn't actually that fit. So then I think that's when I started like jogging. But I was never in the gym until like the summer of my first uni though.
Yeah.
And even when I was going gym, yeah, it was a bro split, and it was like it was crazy. I didn't know what the machines were for, so I tried all the machines and done like a circuit like twice. And you can imagine how long that is. 'Cause you don't know how many sets you're doing either. You just go into failure. So these sessions were doing about 2.5 hours.
Jesus Christ.
And I tried to eat like really clean, which like worked. I got like really lean. I'll probably post a picture of it like now. But anyways, I remember getting like really lean and like having this fear of like eating carbs, because like cutting carbs just seemed to work.
Yeah.
You would have been in a deficit from like cutting any food group anyway. But yeah, that seemed to work. And then yeah, I just carried on lifting for that whole summer, literally religiously, sometimes twice a day. And I didn't know anything about nutrition at all. And I got like peeled, and like I had this obsession with just being like shredded all the time. So when I was back at uni for my second year, like it was weird because like you wouldn't have time to eat, so you'd go Morrison's and you'd think, oh, I'm gonna get a tuna sandwich, but how the fuck can I have a tuna sandwich without carbs? So yeah, it was weird. So I started eating carbs again and putting on a load of weight just from like uptake of glycogen, and that was weird for me because I think I just stopped lifting in general because I got demotivated. Not being shredded anymore.
Basically, yeah, I never really tracked nutrition. I was just eating whatever. I didn't really like think about nutrition while I was training.
Yeah.
I was just training.
Did you ever like weigh yourself though in between to see like if you are putting on muscle?
Yeah, I was putting on weight like very slowly. Probably like my first gym I put on only like 3 kilos maybe.
Yeah. Who would you say like your influences are on like fitness, or where did you have guidelines to like make gains?
Mainly like Mushtaq, my friend, basically.
Yeah.
He was basically my personal trainer for like a year and a half.
Did you watch anything on YouTube at that time?
But at that time, no.
I remember watching this guy called Sean Nalawan.
Yeah.
And he had like, still to this day, he gives out like the best advice. And I remember, yeah, even like hearing stuff about like calories, being in a surplus and stuff like that. I was really young at that time. Well, I wouldn't say really young, but like 18, 19. I had no idea what calories were. So remember, I just used to eat like an extra like 2-3 slices of pizza a day, and I was able to put on weight like that, like steady, and still stay like relatively lean.
Yeah. The main guy I saw earlier on was Athlete X, who just always recommended different exercises, different movements to hit different body parts.
In terms of like staying motivated, I think it was like Elliot Hulse. He used to be like really passionate about hitting these big lifts and like it's just a bit crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an absolute philosophical guru, man.
It's great though. Like you need that sort of shit. When did I stop doing bro splits? Well, bro splits were great at the time. I do think they were great, but it had to change.
We did far too much volume. Me and my friends, we used to do our chest days would be like 5 sets of flat dumbbell bench press, followed by 5 sets of incline bench press, then like 5 sets of cable flies, 5 sets of machine flies. Then we'd finish off with, I don't know why, we used to finish off with flat barbell bench. Yeah. We were absolutely fatigued. I couldn't even lift.
I used to do a lot of that. Yeah, I used to have more like emphasis on cable flies than like actual presses, because that's what Simeon Panda or like Ulysses would do on Instagram, and that was like you'd think that was the main movement because it looked cool. Anything that looked cool, it must be the main movement. I mean, that's what they sell, isn't it? And it looked like it was, but yeah. And then I think the volume cut down when we found out that this guy called Kinabody. Because I remember I tried to get like shredded and it never worked, because like being at such a high weight after a bulk, you try and cut, like you think cutting carbs, but the cut would be longer than you first started because you might have gained like the extra fat. Yeah. And you'd have to cut for longer. But like you're so used to eating carbs all the time, all this extra food. As soon as you cut them, it's so difficult to transition. So to lose weight, it got really hard. And I remember I just plateaued and thought, forget this, like I'm never gonna get shredded because I just don't have the willpower.
Yeah.
I used to binge on my diet a lot. And I found out about Kinabody, and he still to this day is big on like intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
If you don't know what intermittent fasting is, we'll put a link down below or a description now.
Yeah, for me it was summer 2015 I first found Kinabody.
Yeah.
When I came back from Mallorca, and I remember I was ill one day. It just comes up in recommended videos.
Yeah.
Just this Canadian guy in it outside my mansion with shades on, just chatting about intermittent fasting.
Yeah, and black coffee and the
Back then, he wasn't actually that big. Probably his YouTube was pretty
Yeah.
small, man. He probably had less than 100K.
Because at that time, intermittent fasting was his thing. It was like, there's no way you can eat. There's no way you can skip breakfast. You'll lose your gains, and you won't have concentration to like get on with your life. How can this be? You've been eating like breakfast for like 16, 20 plus years, or however old you are. Like, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. But it was quite well known in the industry at that time, but not very. A lot of people did it, but they didn't really publicize it.
Yeah, they don't really use
People like Christian Guzman been doing IF for years, but like they didn't really sit down and do like whole videos
I don't know
on
whether
like
that's
IF.
because it was like a health like concern, or whether it was just a shock to culture. Like,
Yeah.
But like, how often would you on a weekend wake up really late, and then just go out with your friends and not eat like breakfast and not think about it? Do you know what I mean? Like, people have been like intermittent fasting like accident like all the time if they're late for work and they're still alright.
Yeah. For me, it was summer 2015. Basically, that's when I stopped doing bro splits and I switched to started doing intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Started doing
Our like overall frequency had like cut down by then as well. When we went up,
I cut down.
Kina Body around the same time as you as well, summer 2015, and yeah, we were doing like 2-3 workouts. Well, I think I was on 3 workouts a week.
I think it was a bit later than summer 2015. I think for you
it might have been the summer after, actually, 2016.
I'd say it was probably like early 2016.
Yeah.
Because by the time we started training together was like summer 2016.
I think I did find out because I got shredded for that summer 2016, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was probably early 2016.
Yeah.
Because I remember like back. I don't know if we trained together back then, like around 2015.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You have to put up another picture of us like being shredded cunts now.
Because basically, I'd say like that period leading up to Jersey in 2016.
Yeah.
I'd say it was the following year, but for me, basically that's when I stopped. I started doing intermittent fasting. I reduced my volume.
I think that's
as
when
well.
I first started tracking my lifts as well, which is another key thing to progressing overall in long term. Like,
yeah.
Did you track your lifts before that, or you just had an idea in your head?
Just had I only kept track base of compound movements for my lifts. I didn't track anything else.
I remember going in and like I used to just like, because I was going like frequently, like let's say 5-6 times a week, I would know what dumbbell to like pick.
Yeah.
But on some days I would purposely go lower because I wouldn't feel like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many like wasted sessions do you think like I would have wasted by just not feeling right about a dumbbell?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Rest times wasn't even a thing either. Like, I would just do it until like I felt like it. It wasn't like a set schedule of can I do better next time. Like, it was.
Yeah, we used to probably do like 2-3 minutes, which is probably not enough for any compound movement.
Yeah.
It's not enough. Especially as you progress and use heavier weight, like 2-3 minutes is just not enough.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near enough time. But yeah, the main finding out about Kina Body, changed everything. That's when I first personally got knowledge.
Yeah, he
on
had
calories as well. Because I never tracked calories either.
He has a few like programs, doesn't he? Like specialized to like building muscle or getting shredded or whatever.
Yeah.
They're all very similar, but it still follows the principles of like reverse pyramid training, RPT, which is mainly strength based.
Yeah.
So you're not going in the gym just to like get a pump. You're going in there just to get better and better each time, which is great because you're on this low frequency. You only have to go like 3 times a week, so you can have more time to do other stuff in between, and the rest days you can utilize and like focus on your diet as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you're in a deficit, all you're thinking about is getting lean all the time. You need time off to like think about something else, because it's all about long term. You can stick to your diet for 7-8 days in a row, but if you're planning to like cut for 2 months or like 1 to 2 months or whatever period, you won't stick to it if like all you're doing is thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's like that with anything, isn't it? Like, if you constantly think about it, you're just gonna struggle and just give up.
Yeah, you need something that you can maintain over a long period of time.
That, and also you're on lower calories anyway, so keeping up with the frequency will be like fairly like difficult to maintain your lifts. But I tried his program, and I didn't buy his program, but I knew like what he was preaching, and it worked, didn't it? I've got like progress pictures.
Yeah, I just basically from summer 2015, I just incorporated the key lifts, so like weighted chin ups. Well, I stuck to flat benching, stuck to squats, but basically just train 3 times a week with a rest day in between. So there's probably a lot less volume, a lot less working sets per workout. Probably like 15 to 20 working sets per workout. But the progress was that was when I actually started adding on a lot of muscle mass. I think I was probably still probably like 73 kilos in summer 2015, so very light in comparison to when I started. And I think from when I started following that program is probably when I progressed the most and probably put on about 5 kilograms in about a year. Following that, and that's when my lifts actually started improving considerably.
Yeah.
Plus, obviously, by tracking workouts, tracking calories, because before I never tracked calories. I had no idea about calories.
I think we'll have to talk about another section because that's the whole nutrition part. Like that's.
But he was the guy who introduced to me like calories as well, because I never tracked it before.
Yeah.
So that was like a key component following that.
Yeah. So about like life in general and balance and fitness. Like, have you ever had a problem or like, what did you think about? When you got into fitness, did you think I have to be this fitness person now? Or did you try and find time for it? Or because like on my part, I was obsessed about it when I first started. I was like, oh my god, like, is this what people actually do in the weekends? Like actually go out on your own and like, or like with friends and that to work out? Because to me, it was such a weird complex. Because usually before when I was younger, you'd go out with your friends and play football and then they stopped playing football. So what are you meant to do now physically? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a weird concept to me because when I found out about it, I just tried everything, like all sorts of like exercises. But I would say like during that summer, like I didn't really have much of a social life. I just stuck to like going to the gym and like thinking about watching like a couple of videos every now and then. But
which
like,
time are you talking? Like which year?
Probably like the very first like summer, the very first year. Yeah.
No, for me like. Activity was still really high, even though we were training like 5 times a week. I used to play football like 2-3 times a week as well. I used to just eat whatever. I was never really stressed about what I'm eating or social life. I'd still go out.
I've known people to like skip football because they'd either plan a gym session on that day or like they need rest for the gym the day after, so they purposely wouldn't go football. You know, how like sad is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we used to train and then play football afterwards some days as well. Just as long as you didn't hit legs, we would hit anything upper body and still play football afterwards. But I never had any anxiety or like any worries. Like
I had a few times when like I would like diet and go out and I wouldn't know what to eat because you're not used to it. You're just used to cooking on your own. If you're tracking like calories as well and stuff like that. But then over time you sort of eyeball it with experience. I think that comes with time and experience, really. Yeah.
Once you get used to what you need to eat, you get used to your protein, fats, carbs, you know your sources well, then it comes with time and experience. Yeah. It's something that you have to go through. Everyone has to go through a period where you track calories for a while, which you'll never make any proper progress.
You can argue and say, that like fitness and life and stuff has to be balanced, but I think there are periods where you can have more time to think about your diet and your fitness and stuff like that, and other times where you need to actually ignore that fitness stuff and focus on your priorities. Do you know what I mean? Because you otherwise you'll be like constantly flicking in between the two of like, when can I train, when can I eat, when can I like go out and do stuff. Do you know what I mean? But there might be a week where you can't go to the gym at all. Do you know what I mean? And like you can't stress yourself out about that, because it's gonna happen all the time.
Yeah, schedule's a big factor.
Yeah,
a very big factor.
So especially on holiday as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if your plans are to go on holiday to like chill and stuff, and like you want to be going gym, let's say you're on like a push-pull legs program 6 days a week, like how is that possible if you're like there for the 6 days? Are you in the gym like every day? Or?
You have to like adapt to the situation and make the best out of it. Like a lot of people say they travel, they'll switch to a full body workout. So they have to train about 2 to 3 times a week with a rest day in between.
I think what a good idea is maybe using that week as an actual deload.
Yeah.
Actually, like just completely taking your time off the gym and actually letting your body like recover, and like obviously like your brain and stuff as well.
Yeah.
It is like quite hard to, like there are a lot of weeks in a year, and let's say you train the majority of them, that is a lot of weeks that you are training. It is something you have to stick to.
Yeah.
But for some people, it is because of their schedule. They can just stick to it like that, and like from the get go, just wake up and be, oh, it's Monday, it's time for gym.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like another thing for another video, like the importance of deloads
Yeah.
is like another important factor.
Yeah. Should we talk about like calories and stuff now,
Calories, yeah.
or should we talk about like what other topics do we have? Very important topic. Thoughts on the fitness industry. I think like there's a question that comes before that actually. It's like, do you actually acknowledge there actually being a fitness industry, or is it just a bunch of people posting stuff on Instagram? Because what a lot of people don't understand is these people that have a large following that actually generates like income. You know what I mean? It's not just, I'm going to show you big parts of my life, not big parts, like great parts of my life, and hopefully you like it. They actually get like income from it, and and along with that does come along with like some shady stuff, but obviously there are some good parts of it as well. But yeah, the naive, like, well, I don't know, we'll have to skip that bit, but yeah, what's your general thoughts on the fitness industry then, as a whole? Like,
as a whole, I'd say there's still a lot of, how should I put it, there's a lot of good people in the fitness industry, like role models, people who provide like good information for beginners, for like intermediate experienced lifters, who provide good information for people who have like different training backgrounds, whether like they play a sport, whether they're just lifting casually. Like there's a lot of good advice out there. Then the other factor is also, it's like with any industry, there's always going to be like malpractices, because like you said, people are making a living off it.
yeah,
So it's like, what lengths will you go to make a living through like...
I mean, you got to think, right, before like social media was like a thing, like your income from fitness would have been from supplement stores and like personal training. Like if anything was to branch out of that, it would probably be like, apart from like personal training, would have been like meal plans and stuff like that as well. But you got to think, like, a part of that income that they make would have been to like motivate, not just to like get likes on like pictures and stuff and followers.
Yeah, it was a lot more actually personal.
Yeah,
before.
because you wouldn't have found a sponsor if you worked in the gym. You wouldn't have found a sponsor for clothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As you would nowadays. Like, you wouldn't have to necessarily fly out to meet that person for a sponsor either. Whereas before, like, how would you get through these means? But obviously, it's like provided so many opportunities for people to like collab and meet up as well.
Yeah, online just has been like the biggest component to transform the industry. You're taking out that medium of having to be there physically in person, that you can train clients just online.
Yeah.
Which allows you to do it really anywhere in the world. You have an internet connection, you can do it anywhere.
Exactly.
You don't have to like physically be in a gym.
And your
to
only
train someone.
like general interest could just be like, do you want to like train together and like go out and like travel together and things like that. Like these general interests that can like, just explode, man. It's a very large following.
Yeah, but like with any industry, there's gonna be positive things and negative things. Like Instagram as a whole has its problem of people posting all kinds of transformations and
exactly, and like the editing stuff like that as well, like the Adobe games, really,
people going to town on Photoshop to make all kinds of ambiguous transformations.
That is just a part of like marketing though.
Yeah,
it is just.
It's all part of it to grow their brand.
Yeah, that is the game. Like, I'm not saying you should like fake it till you make it type thing, but like you have to attract people's attention somehow. You know what I mean? That's not to say like the best physiques in the world like have like the biggest followers or like they make the most amount of money. I don't think it works like that. But to some extent, like you have to have something that sells.
Yeah, you gotta have something unique to you and something that's providing value to the audience to give them a reason to actually want to follow you. They have to be getting something out of it.
Nowadays, like you'd look on YouTube and you think, right, so and so John or Dave, like you literally compare you like subconsciously do it anyway, like you compare what or like how their videos are different, and sometimes they're not actually that different.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame, because like there's only so many like hours in a day, and people have like dedicated their time to actually watch these videos, and to like find out that you're watching the same thing over and over again with like another like name, that is a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of like, not like a stereotype, but now like obviously
even,
a lot of videos fall into the same.
Or even
like,
they'll
category.
make a video that someone else has done like a couple months ago, but just try to recreate it again with their own twist, which isn't so different.
Yeah.
You gotta pump it.
Tell me when it's like 50.
It's like 5 seconds.
We just started.
Oh, at 50, okay. Let's look at the time. Ooh, they have bags.
Got it?
30 seconds. 40 seconds. Okay, 50 seconds.
10 more seconds.
Pump it. Yeah. Woo! Dang, too easy. That's his workout for today. Yeah.
Like 2 minutes. What's the price? What's the way to a car?